Today's guest is the fastest woman alive, a world champion, Olympic champion, motivational speaker. I'm talking about Missouri State Women's Track Associate Head Coach, Carmelita Jeter. Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me. Super excited to be a part of the cave.
Yes, indeed. Well, tell us how you're doing for somebody that likes to be around people as much as you do. Being at home alone is probably very tough.
Well, that's why I came out to LA because I would have been in Missouri, by myself. So one thing I am liking right now is I've been able to get a lot of work done. I've been able to get a lot of recruiting done, recruiting for 2021. So I've been still. So that's been helping me a lot. And then, I'm finishing up my master's at Missouri State. So I've been able to really knock out these last two. Can't wait for graduation in May.
Sounds great. How have you been able to keep the team motivated from a distance like this?
I've been doing some amazing things lately. I've got a chance to call up some amazing women. First was Allison Felix, and then I had Shelly Ann Fraser Price of Jamaica, and then I had AJ Wilson and Shelby come in for the distance runners, and then I finished it off with Layla Ali. So, I tried to just keep the girls motivated, just so they hear what someone else is doing. I can say things all day long, but it always sounds better when someone else says it, right? So just having our motivation Mondays and letting the girls get a chance to talk to someone that's just amazing, that's just shows strength and confidence as a woman. That's what you always want, to show your team is strength and confidence. So what they see, they can be.
Layla Ali, that was yesterday, right? How'd that go?
Oh, that was amazing. Layla has so much energy when she talks, and she kept doing this. So she definitely still loves the box.
Again, we're visiting with Missouri State Associate Head Track Coach Carmelita Jeter. Today's broadcast sponsor is Parkcrest Dental Group, the official dental partner of Missouri State Athletics. And a special thank you as well to Bambino's Cafe. Great food, great service, your neighborhood. Order Bambino's to go at bambinoscafe.com. You also had the opportunity to be on Kelly Clarkson's show. Tell us about that.
Let me just start from the beginning. We had just finished indoor championships. We back to Springfield at 1:30 in the morning. I have a 5:30 flight out of Springfield. So I rush home, take a shower, pack a bag, fly to the airport, get to LA, take a nap for 2 hours, and then I'm getting hair and makeup. That's how crazy it was.
Wow.
But it was definitely fulfilling. I got a chance to meet a young lady that her coach saved her life, and she had heart surgery the next day. And I never had a Carmelita Jeter. I tell people that all the time. I never had a Carmelita Jeter. I had never had someone that I could touch, that I could say, oh my gosh, I spoke to this person. So when I get opportunities to do things that can just change someone's life, I have no problem with jumping on a plane with negative hours of sleep to do it.
You, during the appearance, you repped Missouri State quite well, had the pin on, and also mentioned it during the appearance. So university getting a little pub too.
Yes. Well, I'm here. So because I'm here, I definitely want to make sure that the world knows I'm here, and hopefully that can, just help us in so many ways.
How did you come here? What was that story of it?
It was definitely a story of I couldn't believe I was moving to Springfield. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and when I first got off the plane and I'm walking through the airport and it's like 10 gates, and I'm like, oh gosh, this is Springfield, Missouri. It's so small. And then Coach Jordan Fife picks me up from the airport, and we're driving through the city. And, you know, I'm just from LA. Everything's fast and busy and it's much slower. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, you know, I'm going to do the interview. This should be, you know, okay. I don't really see myself, you know, kind of just plan the day out, you know. And as the day's going on, I'm just meeting all of these amazing people, and change. Everything's changing as the day goes. And I'm with Kyle, I'm with Casey, and they're talking, and I'm telling them, you know, the things that I want to bring to the program and help with the program. And as they're just, yes, 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 I'm saying, oh gosh, I'm moving to Springfield. No. And I get on the plane, and as soon as I land in LA, I get this email from Kyle. And I said, oh, he's good. Because the email just said all the things that you're supposed to say to get somebody to say they're coming. And I literally read the email and I said, well, I'm moving to Springfield.
How has it been for you?
It's been great. I must admit that. I was a little concerned because I am a city girl, big city girl, and I've never lived out of California for the Olympics and things of that nature, but I've never lived out of California. So I was very nervous about that. My family was a little nervous because I wasn't going to be around them, but I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to coach. I knew that I wanted to go back to school. I knew that I wanted to get my master's. I had a plan of everything that I knew that I wanted. And coming to Missouri, I met some amazing people. I have some amazing friends. I would probably be honest because they just opened up their arms, their heart to me, and truly just showed me, you know, that you don't have to know people for years for someone to care about you. I have really found a place with some amazing people that I don't think I'll ever be able to let them go as my friends. They're going to be my friends for life. I will even tell you this one story. So I didn't have a rental car yet, and I had Springfield. We were in a meeting, and it was a Title IX meeting, and it was Jill, and it was Rachel and Casey. And I was mentioning to the girls, I said, well, you know, I'm still waiting for my truck to be delivered, you know, to Springfield. And so Rachel comes to me, Rachel Dockery, who lead counsel, comes to me and she says, oh, I have a car you can use. I'm thinking it's a Missouri State car, right? So I'm thinking, oh, no problem. Just, you know, I'll take a Missouri State car. And so then I get out to the car, and it's her personal car. And I said, I'm not taking your personal car. I thought this was a Missouri State car you were going to give me. And she's like, no, we have a couple cars. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I didn't even know her last name. I didn't have her phone number. I'm thinking to myself, she doesn't know me. She's just going to give me her car. So she gives it to me because when I kept saying no, I could tell that I was bothering her by saying no. So I said, okay, let me just say yes. She's trying to do something great for me. Let me just take a couple of days are going by, and I'm thinking to myself, whose car do I have? I don't even know her name. I had to call Casey Hunt, and I said, Casey, whose car do I have? I need to give her some thank yous. I need to give her something. But that's the love that I've been receiving since I've been at Missouri, where I'm getting cars from people when I didn't even know their name. You know, I've definitely been shown so much love and so much appreciation, and it's definitely warmed my heart a lot.
What are your thoughts on coaching at this level at Missouri State, Missouri Valley Conference? You've obviously had a storied background in the sport of track and field.
I definitely love that I've come to Missouri State, that I'm in a position where I can help Coach Jordan Fife really rebuild this program. And take this program to another level. I'm very, very excited about that. I'm definitely excited that I even have a head coach that allows me to be me. You know, he allows me to do my thing. He allows me to go out and smile and kiss the babies and do, you know, everything that I need to do to bring more attention to the program. It's definitely great to have a head coach that has his own confidence. That you know, he knows that my only intention to win. So coming to Missouri State and being able to recruit as many young ladies that I've been able to recruit, I think my number is over 20 now. So I'm definitely excited about that. Over 2 years, 20, I can't beat that, you know. So I remember people were telling me I wasn't going to be able to come to Springfield, and I'm like, oh, okay. And it looks like I'm doing that pretty well, right? So, you know, coming here and being part of a rebuild, that was my number one thing of coming, of why I came. You know, it's easy to go to a school that everyone's already running fast and all the accolades are already there. But it's another thing when you go somewhere and you know, okay, I have to coach. I have to put my hat on. I have to put my A game on. And my coach, John Smith, who coached me to my 1064, he said, you're going to become an amazing coach at Missouri State. And I said, well, why do you say that? And he said, because you don't have everything.
Podcast being brought to you by Parkcrest Dental Group. We'd also like to thank the Doubletree by Hilton Springfield, located at Glenstone and Kearney, where a warm cookie always awaits your arrival. Coach, give us a little thumbnail on your background as an athlete, maybe a key moment in your life that kind of turned it around for you.
Well, I started playing basketball. I grew up in a basketball household. My younger brother Pujet for the Sacramento Kings, and then he played over in China. He still plays there, you know, now for several years. So we grew up playing basketball. My dream was to be on the dream team. You know, I wanted to be on the dream team. But hey, it ended up turning out that I was on. So I guess, you know, that was a great thing. But you know, I went to a small Catholic high school, and I didn't get as much exposure as you know, other athletes had gotten from bigger programs, bigger track programs. I went to a Division II school. I ended up running extremely well there. I tell people all the time, you know, people like to get caught going to these big schools. Oh, I got to go to this school and I got to go to that school. No, you have to go to a school where you have a coach that actually cares. You have to go to a school where you have a coach that's actually going to put the time in to make you better. And I went to Cal State Dominguez Hills, Warren Edmondson, amazing coach. And I ended up being CCAA Athlete of the Year, NCAA Athlete of the Year. I mean, my accolades went on and on at a Division II school where everybody thought that was a negative, which turned out to be a positive for me. And then I went on to, I'm going to tell you a story people don't know, as in between 2007 and graduating, I went to join the police department. I wanted to be, so I always wanted to be either a police officer or in the military. So I let everybody always talk me out of, you know, things that everyone's always afraid, you know. And so I go out for the police department. I pass everything with flying colors. I'm sitting in the room with 3 detective women, and they say they can't hire me. And I'm like, well, why can't you hire me? And she says, well, when you talk about track and field, you light up. When you talk about track and field, something changes in your voice. So she says, I'm going to set this application to the side for a year. You have a year, and then I can walk you into the academy myself. She said, but something tells me you're going to go out one more time and try it, and you won't be back. And that's pretty much what happened. I put all my eggs in one basket in 2007, and I made my first world championship team. And that's pretty much the turning point for me in my career. Somebody telling me no, telling me no, that they weren't going to hire me. But then I went on to make some teams. Coach. I went to John Smith, who was a legendary track and field coach for Nike. I made the Olympic team at 32 years old. I was like a dinosaur, right? So I always tell people, like, do not let people put limits on you. Do not let anyone else tell you what you're capable of doing and what you're not able to do. Don't do it, because that's just them putting limits on themselves. You know, I tell even my girls, I tell them, I said, hey, if we down on a piece of paper and keep believing in it, it's going to come true. And you believe it, and you have to claim it and say it and speak it. And that's how I became the fastest woman alive. I wanted it. I wanted every bit of it, and I was willing to sacrifice my life to do it.
Are you still, you'd mentioned basketball, are you still a fan? And if so, what were your thoughts on the Lady Bears team this year?
Of course I'm still a fan. You don't never leave that. That never goes away. Oh my gosh, watching Coach Mox this year, I definitely have to say that I was so proud and happy head coach, the first African-American female head coach ever at Missouri State University. That was just a door opener for so many things, for women in general, as well as at the school, and for African-American women. So I was very excited that she was the head coach, but watching her through the season and watching the girls, the number one thing that she brings as a coach, if you pay attention, is she cares. That's the common denominator. When teams win, it starts from the coach. And what she did with those girls so fast, usually that takes 2-3 years for a coach to come in that with a team that was already set, because that team was already set and they had been doing things a certain way already. And so for another coach to come in, that was huge. That was big. And watching them and watching how they played with each other and the respect that they had with each other, I loved it. I was always at Lady Bear games. Just the energy, the crowd, the momentum. I definitely wish we could have kept going, because something tells me those getting into the groove of making. But hey, we got next year. So I'm sure Coach Mox is going to stir it up again, and those girls are going to come out, and I'm sure she added some new recruits. So I'm going to enjoy watching her do her thing for another year.
Sounds good. Special thank you to Park Crest Dental Group. We'd also like to thank the Missouri State Bookstore. Shop online at MissouriStateBookstore.com for all your bearwear needs. Got to talk about your track team at Missouri State, a young squad this year. Talk a little bit about the team that was picked 6th in the preseason poll and ended up finishing 3rd.
I'm a believer of, just because someone tells us what they think that we're going to do, they don't know our heart. They don't know how we feel about ourselves. And that's pretty much the speech that we gave going into conference was, if they want it, they're going to have to earn it. We're not giving out nothing today. They're going to have to take it from us. And that was mindset. Having such a young team, I already knew that it was going to take them the full force to start trusting and believing in the process. That's just how it works in track and field. Sometimes it takes some athletes a little longer than others, but it's usually one indoor season. And then outdoor season, they would have been ready to fly. But going into indoors with so many young girls, I was a little concerned because I didn't have a true leader. Chicago Baines, with the hip surgery and injury, and she had to get surgery. So I knew I didn't have Chicago. And, even though I had Taryn there in the GA position, she still wasn't actually on the team. So I went out and back. So Tamika had been injured all indoors, and I was changing up her training just a little bit. I told her, I said, Tamika, I need you to trust me. I need you to trust me, Tamika. I need you to be at indoors because I need you to help the girls get through this. I said, they're young. This is going to be like a deer in headlights. You've been here before. I said, I've trained you good as injury. You will make it through. And she looks at me like, Coach Jet, do you think I can do it? I said, yes, you can. And Tamika Jordan came in, and she was the returner to help the girls a little more, give the girls a little bit more confidence. And she ended up taking 2nd in the 60. But she was a big help for me with my sprinters because everyone was new, everyone was young. So having such a young crowd, a young group, I had to do a lot of things a little different. I couldn't really do the whole that you might want to do, because some intimidating going into the first championship. So going into the first championship, I was a little more laid back than I would normally be, because I didn't want to scare them too much. They're already terrified. So me coming in as Coach Jet, like, what we doing? Come on. That wasn't going to work this time. So I had to tone it down just a little bit going in, but I knew I had trained them well. I knew that they were ready. They just had to start to believing. And as the championships went on, then I could see the belief started coming. Like, I can do this. I can do this. I'm thinking to myself, I've been telling you that. But, sometimes athletes just have to see it, for themselves. So going into outdoors would have been, just the icing on the cake for us, because we took third. We took third, and that 4x4 team, that was like 4x4 team on television at an Olympic Games, because that's how insane it was. And going into the race, Coach Fife told the girls what they would, need to do, and to jump over some people. And they were looking at me like, Coach Jet, we about to do this. And I'm like, well, let's go do it then. And coming into anchor leg, Malia Watkins. And what I loved about this race for Malia was it showed her everything I had been telling her. I've been telling her what she could do. I've been telling her how amazing of an athlete she is. But, it takes athletes to see it for themselves. And when she ran that split and that the way she came home, when she crossed the finish line, she saw it like, okay, I'm as good as Coach Jet has been telling me that I am. That was a team win, not only for the girls that were running, but for the girls that were screaming. We were screaming. We were running back and forth. Me and Coach Fife were running like this. If you watch the video, all you see is my army pants going back and forth. It was definitely an emotional moment, being third. And that was since 2012.
Yeah.
Missouri State hadn't been third since 2012. So that was just, in my eyes, that was the beginning of the dynasty happening. That's how I look at things. That was okay, here we come. We coming, here we come. That was I smiled the whole, I was on cloud 2035. You couldn't tell me nothing. We were so happy and excited, and just knowing that we're putting the program into a position of winning.
Absolutely. And from that, Malia is named the Freshman of the Year. You had to be very proud of that.
Yes, I was. I was extremely proud that she became Freshman of the Year. And now, coming into next year, she'll have that mindset of, the mindset that I was trying to push her to, or she'll have that supreme confidence, and not just my confidence for her, but her confidence in herself. So, only thing that does now for my new freshman is, we got to keep that Freshman of the Year going on. So my new girls that's coming in, they're going to have to be ready. They're going to have to start swinging out the gate.
Today's broadcast partner, Dental Group, the official dental partner of Missouri State Athletics. Also want to thank Hotel Vandevort, Springfield's first urban boutique hotel. Coach, obviously they call them student athletes for a reason. There's the student part of it, which I know they're finishing up finals now, but there's a lot to be proud of with this track and field team academically this year.
Yes. So last year also, the girls received a 3.4 GPA, and this year 3.3. And the reason why this year is even more of a positive, because we had over 20 freshmen. That's a big transition, school to college, and still keeping your grades going. We are a big believer in this program that school is always first and track is second. I tell people the the thing that I did that I'm more proud of is I graduated from college. That was huge for me. I was the first person in my family to do it. So I'm definitely a believer that, you know, you're going to get that paper. If you're going to run for us 4 years, it doesn't make any sense for you to go home in the fifth year with nothing. You know, for you to go home or for you to have to be here 5 years. No, I want you out of here in 4. When it's time to graduate, I want you gone, you know, because that's how it's supposed to be. You know, we're very excited. We have an amazing, when I say an amazing academic advisor, Aja Jones, absolutely hands down amazing. This woman sends us, the coaching staff, emails every Friday, and she says, hey, this person is missing class. Hey, this person's grade is dropping. Hey. So then as soon as I see the email, my girls know I'm calling you on the phone. I'm emailing you. Hey, you need to come by my office today. What time? Anytime, you know. So we're on top of them to make sure they stay the course. So we're definitely proud of these young ladies. 38 out of 45 are on the honor roll. Like, you can't beat that. So we not only pick girls that can run and compete and do all these amazing things on the track or in cross country, but we pick girls that also represent us in the classroom. And
Absolutely. Coach, we have a fan question. Today's fan question, courtesy of Greek Corner Screen Printing and Embroidery, Missouri State Athletics official screen printing part. The question is this: what is your early outlook for 2021 Bears track and field season?
oh, you know, we brought in, I want to say about 15 recruits. 15 to,
Wow.
yeah, 15 to 20 recruits in the 2020 class. And I predict that we should do some amazing things. You know, I've never been a you know what talker. That's not my thing. I always like to speak life and like to speak positivity into my girls. And I believe that if we come in with the mindset that we are one, and we have one roar, and we are one team, then we will do some amazing things.
We're running short on time. I did want to ask you about the Olympics being canceled this summer. As a former athlete, wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, I'm sure a lot of athletes were devastated. You know, you train so much for a 10-second race or a 2-minute race or, you know, a 3-minute race, and for it to be postponed to the next year definitely has to put worry in your heart, especially if you're an athlete that saved up as much money as you could save up to really put in all of your energy into the Olympic trials so you can make the team. It's heartbreaking, and I'm sure that they are people that are heartbroken out there. At the end of the day, though, we got to look at it in two ways. We have to look at it as in safety. We have to look at it as in health. We have to look at it as in, will you really be at your best because so many facilities have closed, so many gyms are not open, you haven't been able to compete to head into the Olympics. So what type of Olympics really have been? You know, the Olympics is supposed to be a place where you see the best of the best of the best perform. And I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like it would have been the best of the best performing because they haven't been able to prepare the way you should prepare for an Olympic Games. So postponing it was the best thing that could have been done, because when I want to see an Olympic Games, I want to see the best athletes in the pool, on the court, you know, on the field, whatever the sport may be. You want the best of the best. And because so many places weren't able to stay open, we weren't going to get the best of the best. So, you know, I would say, you know, next year, we have next year. And even for our college athletes, they wouldn't have been able to compete. I had a number that were going out for Olympic teams for the USA or Bahamas or Barbados or Canada. And, you know, I told them, I said, hey, we're going to look at it like this. We're going to look at it like we have another year to prepare. You know, you got to take the positive from it. And the positive is we have another year mentally and physically to prepare. And now that we got the kinks out, now that you know how I operate, now that you know what I want from you and what I expect from you and what I believe that you can do, now we can go into this next year with the mindset of making a team.
Absolutely. Coach, I know you're in LA right now. You're still visit current team members and motivating them, talking with the new recruits coming in, a big class coming in, and you're still recruiting, right, for the future. So a lot going on in LA for you.
Yes, a lot going on, but don't worry, I'll be back, Zuri.
Coach Jett, it was a pleasure to visit with you. Best of luck to you and look forward to seeing you down the road.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
You bet. This has been Inside the Cave, presented by Parkcrest Dental Group, the official dental partner of Missouri State Athletic. And next time, as we visit with swimming and diving head coach Dave Collins.